Alabama has won 2 of the last 3 BCS national championships, and with a win in today's SEC championship game, will play Notre Dame in Miami. It's been 32 years since Georgia defeated the Irish for the 1980 national championship, but Jarvis Jones and the Bulldogs will get their shot if they can knock off the Crimson Tide. Georgia and Alabama for the SEC championship next on CSS. Welcome inside the Georgia Dome in Atlanta for the 21st SEC Championship game. As today, the Western Division champion Alabama Crimson Tide take on the Eastern Division champion Georgia Bulldogs. And good afternoon, I'm Matt Stewart. I'll be joined by former Georgia quarterback Buck Belue and former Alabama quarterback Tyler Watts in just a moment. Alabama playing in the SEC Championship game for an 8th time. They've won it 3 times. Georgia in the SEC Championship game for a 5th time. They've won it twice, but this is the first time these 2 teams have ever met at the Georgia Dome. Alabama number 2 in the BCS rankings, Georgia's number 3. This makes this, in essence, a national semifinal with the winner advancing to play Notre Dame. Of course, Georgia played Notre Dame for the national championship in 1980. The quarterback that day was Buck Belue, and Buck, quarterback play so important in a big game like this. Aaron Murray is number 1 in the nation in passer efficiency. Does he have to have a big game for Georgia to win?
Well, Murray and McCarron have both been spectacular. I don't know if he needs a lights-out game. Just play solid football. Don't turn the ball over. Manage the game. Get this offense in good plays. I think that's enough to help him get the job done. Look, he's been criticized for playing down in these big games. I've got a theory on this. Against the best teams, his offensive line has gotten whipped. They face a big challenge today. Aaron Murray needs a clean pocket. And if they give him that clean pocket, I believe Aaron Murray plays big today.
Time now to bring in my Alabama partner, Tyler Watts. And Tyler, A.J. McCarron right behind Aaron Murray. He's number 2 in the nation in passer efficiency. His favorite target all season long has been freshman Amari Cooper, but he's going to have to step up and have an even bigger game today.
Probably will be. Lost Kenny Bell in last week's win over Auburn. DeAndre White earlier in the year versus a win versus Ole Miss. So now Amari Cooper's kind of had to step in that role of being the most explosive wide receiver that A.J. McCarron has an opportunity to throw to. He's going to come on big, though, today in these 3rd and long situations. They're probably going to go to him to keep those chains moving.
Both of them have been spectacular all season long. It's Alabama and Georgia. Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide going for their first SEC title since 2009. Georgia and Mark Richt, their first since 2005. Opening kick is coming up next. Georgia won the toss and deferred, so Alabama will be receiving to start this game.
It's big boy football, isn't it?
Absolutely. Cyrus Jones and D. Milner standing deep for the Crimson Tide, and we are underway. Cyrus Jones will take it from the goal line. Cyrus Jones with a 26-yard return, and that's where the Alabama Crimson Tide will go on offense for the first time today. Led by their quarterback, A.J. McCarron. McCarron has completed 67% of his passes for 209 yards per game, 25 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. The tight end, Michael Williams, in motion behind the line, and McCarron will throw on the first down, dumps it off to Lacey. Lacey runs into his own man.
Well, this Grantham defense very aggressive in their scheme, and you see Nussmeier trying to take advantage of that on the first play of the game, trying to hit him hard with the screen pass.
Yeah, and Alabama will go no huddle right up to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 9 from the 26. McCarron, one of 5 finalists for the Unitas Award and a semifinalist for the O'Brien Award. To the air again, throws on a slant. big gainer for the Crimson Tide up to the 48-yard line. Christian Jones with his 25th catch of the season.
Right before the snap of the ball, safety rotated down for Georgia, left one-on-one coverage on the outside. Just a little quick slant route. Christian Jones, not a guy we call him a lot, but doing a nice job.
1st and 10 from the 48. Eddie Lacy with the quick hitter.
Nobody's going to be big for Georgia here on defense to play the run tough on 1st down and 10. They want Alabama in 2nd and medium, 3rd and long situations so they can turn that pass rush loose with Jarvis Jones. They need to play the run tough on 1st down.
2nd down and 6, ball just across the 50. Protection for McCarron. Backing up and throws it at the feet of Lacy as the pocket started to break down.
Good smart throw, managing the game. Hey, you got nothing. Get rid of it and come back the next down. You don't want to be turning the ball over in this game, forcing something.
Also, it shows the cat and mouse that's going to take place all day long between both offenses and defenses.
3rd down and 6 from the 48. Alabama and Georgia meeting for the first time since the 2008 season. Bulldogs show pressure on the edge. McCarron stands in and fires. It's broken up.
Sanders Cummings has really played an outstanding brand of football at cornerback this year. Missed the first couple of games, settled in. He's that big corner that can run, make plays on the ball. That's a big 3rd down play by Sanders Cummings.
So the Bulldogs hold after the Crimson Tide cross midfield. Cody Mandel, the junior punter, on for the Crimson Tide. Rhett McGowan stands deep for Georgia back at the 11-yard line. McGowan calls for a fair catch, has it go over his head, kick into the end zone. And so the Georgia Bulldogs' first possession will start at the 20-yard line after a 48-yard kick by Mandel. So the Georgia Bulldogs go on offense for the first time. Matt Stewart, Buck Belue, and Tyler Watts with you as Georgia takes over at the 20-yard line. Aaron Murray, the quarterback, has completed 67% of his passes, 267 a game, 30 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. 3 of those came in one game. Ironically, a victory for the Bulldogs over the Gators. Shotgun snap from the center, David Andrews. Murray under pressure, and he'll go down after a 2-yard gain.
Really nice coverage in the secondary for Alabama. Both offenses electing to throw the ball on 1st down. They really fear the run-stopping capability of both defensive lines.
2nd down and 7. Gurley with his first carry of the ball game. Gurley gets close to 6 on the play, up to the 29.
Well, you're facing an outstanding defense here. They're rough, they're tough. You want to try to spread them out a little bit to try to find a running lane. Good start with the running game there. Gurley with a nice little hole in there.
3rd down and 1. Murray to the air, throws incomplete at the 33, was trying to get the ball to Chris Conley. And the Bulldogs with a quick 3 and out.
Well, that is so disappointing right there. A 3rd down, short yardage situation. This is where you want to be. And you line up in a spread set, and you're relying on a young receiver there to make a big play for you there. Tough start for this offense.
Good coverage, though, by Geno Smith. He's a guy in the last couple weeks that's really had an opportunity to increase his playing time.
Christian Jones deep for Alabama back at the 28-yard line. Colin Barber on to kick for Georgia. Short kick. takes an Alabama or Georgia bounce, I should say, and continues to roll, and finally will come to a rest at the 19-yard line. And that's where Alabama will put it in play when we get back. Alabama on offense for the second time. They'll start at their 19-yard line. A.J. McCarron, 2 of 4 for 23 yards so far in this ball game. They did cross the 50 on their first possession before stalling and having to punt. Lacey with the carry, lowers his shoulder, and Lacey crashes out across the 25 up close to the 28-yard line.
What we're talking about in the break here is a lot of times seems like offensive coordinators try to get a little cute early on, but then they get back to what their team does best, and that's running the football for both of these programs.
Nice little cutback lane he hit there.
Second down and short. Buck, let's see if they get a little creative here. Georgia shows blitz. No creativity, just brute force. Lacey picks up the first down as he gets to the outside.
I see he's listed at 220, Tyler, but I want to dispute that. That guy's 245 in full gear here. That's a load.
Even though he's carrying 240 or whatever it may be, he still has the breakaway speed when he gets to the edge to pick up the extra yards, outrun the linebacker.
Lacey rushed for 1,001 yards during the regular season, averaged 6.4 yards per carry, and scored 14 touchdowns. Back-to-back carries by Lacey gives Alabama a 1st and 10 from the 36. McCarron, a heavy rush, fires, and it's caught by Christian Jones and then broken up. Bakari Rambo separated Jones from the football.
Well, I tell you what, he has really elevated his play over the last 3-4 weeks. Phenomenal game he's coming off of. And you see the impact. Rambo now settling in, not too aggressive, letting the play develop, and then jumping the route. Arrives at the perfect time to knock the ball out of there. Rambo has given him All-American play at the free safety spot.
He's come up big in the last 5 games with 34 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 interceptions. Of course, started the season in the doghouse, was suspended. Second down and 10 from the 36. McCarron dumps it off. Lacey up across the 40-yard line. So a steady dose of Eddie Lacey, either on the ground or passing short passes to him so far in this game.
Really
like that screen pass there, and a good job. Jordan Jenkins running down, Garrison Smith running down that play from his defensive end spot. Look at big 56.
Third down and 4.
Another passing formation for Alabama.
Georgia may have it, and they do. Christian Robinson comes up with the loose ball.
Here's those turnovers that we were talking about in the pregame. Appeared that A.J. McCarron wanted to hit the crossing route, but great coverage by Georgia. They took away his initial read. He hesitated. See right here, he wanted to go. He pulls it down. You got to protect the ball.
Jarvis Jones there. Big play, Jarvis Jones knocking the ball out.
And Georgia will have it at the 40-yard line. After Jarvis Jones jars the ball loose, Christian Robinson recovers, and the Bulldogs are set up with a short field. Georgia went 3 and out on their first possession. Their second possession will start at the Alabama 40 after Jarvis Jones forced the fumble by A.J. McCarron. And now, Buck, it's incumbent upon the Bulldogs to cash in here given the short field.
Right, your defense has set you up in great shape here. You need to come away with some points and really sort of set the tone. Play from the front. That's what an underdog wants to do.
Play got blown dead.
Gurley pivoted forward.
Snap, false start. Number 3, offense. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
The 5-yard penalty on Todd Gurley will back it up to the 45. So far, Georgia's offense yet to get out of neutral.
Well, Alabama's so disciplined, one of the teams that rarely gets penalized, and Georgia, it's been a problem, ongoing problem. We'll see if it's a continuing problem here today.
1st and 15 now. Todd Gurley, no running room.
Just hate having to fight for the same yardage twice, and that's what you do when you shoot yourself in the foot. Went conservative there, just trying to get a positive play. So much of what they do early on has a lot to do also with just trying to establish that confidence. Get all the pregame jitters out of you.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 12. Heavy rush. They set up the screen to Gurley. Gurley fights for the 1st down. Battling through the tackle by C.J. Mosley.
Well, they set that up beautifully. It looks like they're going to get Tavares King, though, blocking the back, out on the perimeter. The play coming his way there is really well disguised and set up beautifully. You see Tavares there, the push in the back. He tried to come off of it. I believe that's where the penalty is.
Through the block into the back of the cornerback, Belue. And that's going to negate a 1st down pass play.
The catch during the run, the illegal block in the back, number 12, offense. 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul, replay 2nd down.
So now Georgia is facing a 2nd down and 21, and the ball is back on their side of the 50.
Well, he knows the play's coming his way there, and he knows he's got to get a key block. Indecision, man. Yeah. You just got to lay off.
He knew it. He tried. Momentum carried him into Belue, though.
Mike Bobo up in the coach's box for the Georgia Bulldogs, just a couple of booths over from us. And Kirby Smart down on the sideline for Alabama, the 2 former Georgia teammates and very close friends. They were both in each other's weddings, but no conversations this week. Mark Richt looking like he's a little exasperated with his offense right now. Murray throwing. Back to the original line of scrimmage with the pass completion to Chris Conley. Second time they've gone to Conley here in the 1st quarter.
A real soft zone by Alabama with 2nd and so long. They just want to keep everything in front of him. Though, setting his team up in a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and long, but 3rd and manageable.
Alabama really coming after Murray. There's some running lanes if he wants to pull the ball down and scramble with it.
3rd and 10. Caught across the middle for a 1st down by Malcolm Mitchell.
Well, Murray's got 2 guys he's got tremendous confidence in. He's got Tavares King. They got special chemistry. And Malcolm Mitchell has really settled into the offense. Started the year at corner. And he's a big play weapon there at wide receiver.
12-yard pickup from Malcolm Mitchell as the Bulldogs go back to the ground and hand it off to Todd Gurley. Adrian Hubbard, the linebacker, making the tackle.
Hubbard from this Atlanta area, Norcross. I don't believe Georgia offered him, but boy, I tell you what, Alabama was sold on him, and look at him now.
He's got the frame to carry even more weight than what he currently does. They're extremely high on him.
2nd down and 9. Blitz coming. Murray going up top for Conley again, through behind him.
Yeah, giving him a chance to make an adjustment on the ball. Look, it's well covered. He felt the heat. Yeah. Probably a good move to get it out of there and now come back on the next down and try to make something happen.
I'll say this, though. The Georgia offensive line did a really nice job, along with Gurley, of picking up the pressure.
Mosley was coming on a twist through a gap that had opened up, and Gurley took him out at the knees.
This has really been the problem with Alabama the last several weeks down the home stretch, is getting off the field on 3rd down.
3rd down and 9. Here comes some more pressure. Murray's going to go down at the 33-yard line. The quarterback sacked by Xavier Dixon out of Griffin, Georgia High School, one of the many Alabama Crimson Tide from this area in the state of Georgia. And now Bulldogs facing a long field goal situation.
That's a costly sack for Georgia as well. It took them on the edge of field goal range. Now it's going to be much further back. Good coverage, though, in the secondary for Alabama.
Marshall Morgan will try a 50-yarder, maybe a little bit more than 50. Morgan has a long of 52 against Missouri. This is officially 51 yards. And it is no good. Georgia, after forcing the fumble by A.J. McCarron, comes up empty. And we remain scoreless at the Georgia Dome.
Points. Alabama, a big stop there.
Yeah, a lot of offense. Unfortunately, too much going backwards and having to regain that yardage for Georgia.
Ball at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for Alabama. McCarron slings it out to Amari Cooper, and a first down for Cooper. First catch for him today. It's his 46th of the season.
Really exploded onto the scene in the Ole Miss game this year after DeAndre White went down with an injury. Kind of suffered an ankle injury a couple of weeks ago, but it looks fine there.
I tell you, to me, that's the best play in football on 1st down and 10. You get the ball in your playmaker's hands. He's one-on-one out on the perimeter.
14-yard pickup. They go back to Cooper the other side this time. Not as successful as Cooper driven out of bounds at the 50 after about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that you're doing right now is you're spreading the defense out there. You're making the safeties and the corners and the linebackers run a lot. In theory, that should open up the middle a little bit. Make your defensive guys a little hesitant about their first step.
McCarron 5 for 8, 46 yards here as we are now under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Ball back at the 50. Second time that Alabama has been able to drive to the 50 or beyond against Georgia's defense. TJ Yeldon on his first carry of the ball game.
Kwame Gathers now at nose tackle. They've got Jenkins at the defensive end, and Kwame, a mountain of a man. You see 99 getting off the pile there, taking on Barrett Jones in that block, standing strong at the point of attack, ended up making the tackle.
You know, and a big defensive nose tackle in this type of defense, it's not always his job to make the tackle, just occupy a couple of blockers. 360 is tough to move around.
Third down and 3 from the 46. Yeldon on a slight delay. Did not get the first down, and so decision time for Alabama coming up on a 4th and 1.
I think Coach Saban has enough confidence in his defense. He wants to play the field position game here early on.
Sure is tempting, though, isn't it? With that big Lacey back there, you can hand it to.
Hey, good play, though, by Georgia. They had a little rush. Blitz package there.
Jarvis up top working on Warmack. Boy, that's a big matchup there. Jarvis in on the tackle.
Yeah, if you are Nick Saban, why not punt the ball and put it in the hands of your defense the way this Georgia offense has had no success whatsoever moving the ball against the Crimson Tide so far in this quarter. They faked the punt. How about that? And a first down, but they blew it dead. Yep.
I don't know if they got the play off.
Coach Saban furious.
Prior to the snap, delay of game.
You plan these things all week long, and you can't execute the play. It drives the coaching staff crazy.
Quick snap to the protector, Vinny Sunseri, and they would have had it, but the penalty negates it.
You know, missed opportunities in championship games are so important to the play clock here. This is just poor execution.
So Cade Foster will punt it away this time. McGowan calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 12. So Georgia, after being given a gift at the 40-yard line on the previous possession, now has to start deep in their own territory back at the 12. Bulldogs unable to really generate any kind of offense so far. Their first possession was a 3-and-out. They actually moved pretty much in reverse and had to settle for a long field goal attempt of 51 yards and missed it on their second possession. Georgia from the 12. Gurley up across the 20. About an 8-yard pickup for Todd Gurley.
Running over that left side with Big Gates over there at left tackle and Dallas Lee at left guard there. Very nice job of man on man, and this big freshman running back knows what to do with it when he knocks it inside there.
Second down and 2. Gurley gets it again. Physical at the line of scrimmage. He's close to a first down. Nico Johnson, Alabama's second leading tackler, making the stop.
Those two inside linebackers for Alabama, Mosley and Johnson, boy, they bring it, don't they? I mean, that is a top quality linebacker play inside.
What's amazing, technically the backup to Nico Johnson and Alabama's leading tackler by 40 tackles. 92 stops on the season as they stretch the chains.
He's the guy, though, it's a better pass defender than Trey Dupree. So seems like with the inability of most offenses to run against Alabama, they feel they have to throw it. Therefore, he's getting as many snaps as anybody else.
Georgia picks up their third first down. Ball at the 23-yard line.
You're not going to arm tackle Gurley. That's a big old kid.
Murray, Dixon got him, won't let him go. Xavier Dixon with his second sack of the quarter.
Well, it's a bootleg play. They're trying to get Murray out of the pocket, out on the corner, though, but his options are covered up there. His only option was to pull it down and run with it, and Dixon making a great play on the backside there.
Second down, Gurley gets the snap and the handoff, and Gurley out close to the sticks.
That's good speed right there. Robert Lester was able to come down and run support, but Gurley just turned on the speed, get to the edge.
It's the combination that makes him special. 230, he can run over you, he can run by you, he can run around you. He's the total package, Todd Gurley.
That was a 12-yard pickup. He'll get some water, and now Keith Marshall, his freshman companion, will step in and play the tailback position. Murray, heavy rush, throwing off the back foot and throws it out of bounds. Marshall was out there, and so was the tight end, Jay Rome. But Murray just trying to get rid of that ball rather than take another sack. Damian Square brought a lot of pressure.
I tell you, you've got this imaginary clock in your head as a quarterback. You understand how much time you've got, and Murray had to know that protection was breaking down, just getting rid of the ball, throwing it away.
Second down and 10 from the 33. And a flag dropped before the ball could be snapped.
Prior to the snap, ball short, yeah, got you. Ball short, offense number 26, 5-yard penalty.
Just don't always understand how a wide receiver can get penalized for false start.
Yeah, these are the things that drive a coaching staff
Yes.
batty right there. You're just killing yourself. You're facing a great defense. You can't hurt yourself and expect to get away with it.
Second and 15 as the ball now rests at the 28. Marshall. Not a lot of running room there in the middle of that Alabama defense. Damian Square, actually Quentin Dial, looked like he was in on that tackle that time.
Another third and long situation. The middle of the field seems to be where Georgia has had some luck with some square end routes. A lot of that has been because Alabama's been bringing the linebackers on the stunts on third and long. Interesting to see if Alabama lays back in zone or tries to get after Aaron Murray again.
Third and 13 from the 31. Murray, 2 incomplete passes and 2 sacks in his last 4 pass attempts. Stands in there and fires downfield. It is caught by Tavares King across the 40 and down to the 36.
Well, Georgia kept the tight end in to help the running back, so they're protecting with 7 guys on that particular play. You've only got 2 receivers out, giving Aaron Murray a little extra time, allowing Tavares King to work his magic down the field.
33-yard pickup for Tavares King and the Georgia Bulldogs. At the 36 now, setting up a screen pass, and Gurley gets dropped immediately by C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, C.J. Mosley bid on it when he had a run blitz last time Georgia ran this screen pass. Recognizes the blitz. He's very good at doing that. Peels off and makes the tackle.
Fool me once.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to fool him twice.
That is the 7th tackle for loss for Mosley this season. Ball back at the 40 now after a 4-yard negative play. Man, big stick by Milner as Gurley caught the pass and got back to the original line of scrimmage. Big D Milner, the finalist for the Nagurski Award and the Thorpe Award.
See the pressure here. Good job by the Georgia offensive line once again picking up the twist.
3rd down and a long 10 from the 37.
I don't think Alabama's going to lay back this time.
Pressure coming up front. They catch it. Murray throws and incomplete. Tried to get it to Conley. Geno Smith, another one of the Atlanta area kids playing on the defense for Alabama in the coverage, and it's 4th and long, and another long field goal attempt if Georgia tries to go for 3 here as the first quarter comes to a close. Start of the second quarter, Matt Stewart, Buck Belue, and Tyler Watson. Georgia has made their decision. They're going to punt here on 4th down and 10 from the Alabama 37. Adam Erickson, who is their short punter, stands at the 50-yard line, and Georgia fakes it and throws it complete to Sanders Cummings for the first down. Arthur Lynch, the protector, the tight end, threw the pass to Cummings, and so Georgia executes the fake punt. Unlike Alabama, 17-yard pickup, and the Bulldogs have it at the 20.
Well, who was to know that Artie Lynch, the tight end, could throw the ball, and what an outstanding catch. I mean, you got to figure you're going to get drilled, right, with that ball hanging up like that. Sanders Cummings doing a great job of just hanging on to the football.
So Georgia does Alabama one better and takes over at the 20-yard line. Or continues at the 20, I should say. 1st and 10. And Aaron Murray will use Georgia's first timeout. So out of the timeout, Georgia 1st and 10 from the Alabama 20-yard line after the fake punt. Here's another look at it, guys.
Yeah, first time all year, I believe, Matt. Georgia's faked a punt, and with the up back being the tight end, he and Murray are very close. Maybe Aaron has been coaching up Lynch behind the scenes on how to throw it.
Nice throw, and how about the 2 wide guys? The key to this is them staying off the line of scrimmage, allowing him to become an eligible receiver.
Arthur Lynch, the tight end, lobbed that ball to Sanders Cummings as Georgia executes a 17-yard pickup on the fake punt. And now Georgia back, setting up on offense. Aaron Murray 5 of 9 for 53 yards thus far. Very little running room for Keith Marshall.
Big Jesse Williams in there doing some damage. Big senior brawler there, and David Andrews, the sophomore center, certainly has his hands full working against him here this afternoon. So he just destroys him at the point of attack, blowing up the running play.
2nd down and 9. Murray got a man flash open. It's complete to Rome, and Rome gets in.
Jay Rome is a guy, both Alabama and Georgia wanted him. 5-star, top-rated tight end in the country. Slow start to his career here at Georgia. He's gotten more and more playing time here at the end of the year. He's a big target, a talented guy. Sort of a wild card. Alabama, not a lot of film on Jay Rome here this season to study. He's established himself as a real playmaker.
19-yard touchdown catch by Jay Rome. The PAT by Marshall, and Georgia is able to cash in on the fake punt and get 7.
See a traditional I formation look, safety coming up there at the last second, and he gets behind that soft spot right there with the safety vacated. Tight end hits it. Beautiful throw by Murray. They need a big play, and they got it.
Murray's 31st touchdown pass of the season gives Georgia the lead here at the SEC Championship game. The Georgia Bulldogs have set a school record for points in a season with 456 coming in. They're the first to score 7 here today at the SEC Championship and lead it by a touchdown early in the second quarter. Cyrus Jones from the goal line. Jones with the return up across the 22 to the 23. And that's where Alabama goes back on offense after a 13-play, 87-yard drive, fellas. Took nearly 5 minutes. Very methodical drive, and of course the real clincher was the fake punt.
A couple of big third down conversions as well, though, for Aaron Murray and that Georgia offense, doing a nice job keeping the chains moving. And that's really all you can do, is put yourself in a position to make a play, and then given the opportunity, make it.
We'll see if Alabama can answer. TJ Yeldon lines up in the backfield along with McCarron. McCarron throws incomplete, trying to get the ball to Kevin Norwood.
It's one of those passes where if it's lower, that's a real big gain. Press coverage on the slot receiver, no safety help, nobody underneath. Could have been bigger if he'd hit him in stride.
Second down and 10. McCarron threw just 2 interceptions in 265 attempts this season. And a school record 25 touchdown passes. Handoff goes to Yeldon, and he's in trouble. And Ogletree will run him down. Alec Ogletree, Georgia's leading tackler, drops him at the original line of scrimmage.
Well, this is where Georgia defense under Ty Grantham really thrives, is when they get you behind the down and distance. Second down and 10. Now you can run sideline to sideline. You can put pressure on an offense. That first down's been key.
Actually lost a yard on that play. Third down and 11. Noisy building right now. McCarron dancing, gonna go down, a quarterback sack. John Jenkins collapsed the blocking in front of him, and then collapsed A.J. McCarron back at the 13.
Well, he's at defensive end one play, he's back at nose tackle the next. Blows up Barrett Jones on that play, couldn't handle him. Worried about Jarvis Jones, and now here's big number 6 making an impact. Jarvis off the edge there, working on Quanjo. He does a good job on JJ.
Mandel standing a foot in his end zone, delivers to Malcolm Mitchell deep this time. Georgia trying to get a return out of it. Mitchell wants to get around the edge. And Mitchell returns it to the 50. And so Georgia will take over at the midfield stripe after going close to 90 yards on their last possession. They'll have a much shorter field this time. Georgia takes over at the Alabama 49-yard line, already leading 7-0, and suddenly Georgia's got a little juice in their offensive step right here. Ball was tipped, at the line of scrimmage as Murray tried to connect with Lynch.
Really a heads-up play, though, by Aaron Murray. Recognized the pressure coming from the field, checked into a quick out route for an appropriate call there. Just a good job by defensive lineman getting his hands up.
Seeing a lot of second and third and longs today. Really puts these offenses up against it.
Quick pass out to Malcolm Mitchell. No running room. Got dropped for a loss at the 47-yard line.
Geno Smith doing a good job getting off his block, along with Robert Lester coming up and pinning him down. As you just mentioned, Buck, another third and long situation. Alabama's continue to bring pressure, but they hadn't been able to really get to Aaron Murray.
Dropped by Lynch.
Yeah, he was going to be short anyway. Disappointing there. Great field position. You go 3 and out. Got to tip your cap to this Alabama D.
Rather ironic, Buck, that the 2 times Georgia's gotten pretty good field position, unable to do anything with it, and then the 1 time they were back at their 13, they drove 87 for the touchdown.
Three straight passes also for Georgia, and once again kind of getting away from what they want to do. Some of that might be dictated by the defense, though.
You're right, Tyler. It seems like Gurley has been their most potent offensive weapon so far today. A high kick almost went straight up in the air, but does take a kick for Georgia as Jones fields it going out of bounds. And so the Crimson Tide will take over at their own 18-yard line.
You know, the little throw, though, on the line of scrimmage, I really look at that as sort of a running play. They're getting it out to Malcolm Mitchell there on the corner.
So Alabama back on offense from their own 18-yard line. A little more than 3.5 minutes into this second quarter. Georgia leading 7-0. Matt Stewart, Buck Belue, and Tyler Watts with you. Loading up for the long ball. Thrown for Cooper. And Cooper comes down with it. Amari Cooper with a spectacular catch across the 40. Played jump ball and won it.
Hey, there's no other description for that than a jump ball, because that was great coverage in the secondary. Bakari Rambo, I believe, went up to the highest point. Amari Cooper just going up a little higher.
44-yard pickup, and now they give it to Lacey. And Lacey with about 5 or 6 on the play, down to the 32.
Yeah, those are 2 great athletes there now going after it. And Cooper, how about the elevation, the vertical there? You know, a big play like that can really spark an offense.
And Alabama desperately needed it. They haven't done anything with the ball the last several possessions.
And not only the elevation, but the concentration. He was still manipulating that ball and trying to bring it in as he was falling down backwards on his back. 2nd down and 4. Big hole for Eddie Lacy, right up the middle. And Lacy down to the 12-yard line.
Georgia respects the run so much. Sometimes they get overly aggressive and over pursue. That creates some openings on the backside.
Cooper takes the swing pass, and Cooper goes down near the line of scrimmage after a 21-yard pickup by Lacey.
Yeah, they didn't fit the run very well at all. Looked like the linebackers over pursued on the play, opened up a running lane for Lacey. And I tell you, when that big fella gets going, he's going to be a hard man to bring down.
I tell you, you get in here, though, this is where it gets tough. Both defenses do such a good job. You get around that 10-yard line, it is tough to move the ball.
Second down and 9 from the 11. Lacey slams in there, didn't get much on the play.
Brings up a big 3rd down, obviously, here. Looking to get a touchdown, not settle for 3 in this, Tyler.
I still think you got to be safe with the ball, because any points right now are good. You don't want to walk away empty-handed.
3rd down and 6 for Alabama from the 8-yard line. McCarron, pocket breaking down, throwing, and off the hands of Christian Jones, who was open. And a flag out.
They're going to get Ogletree a shot to the head on A.J. McCarron as he released the ball.
And I'm going to tell you, Buck, that flag did not come initially. It's almost as though McCarron lobbied for it. Yeah,
oh,
that's the right call, though.
My goodness.
Now, back when you were playing, that's just good football.
That's just another day at the office.
That's right.
I'd say A.J. McCarron's one tough dude to get up from that shot.
But still another missed opportunity. You have a busted play, you scramble by yourself some time, high throw. These are the kind of plays you're going to have to make in a big game like this.
A missed opportunity, though, that turns into a new opportunity because of the personal foul on Alec Ogletree. 1st and goal to go now for Alabama from the 4-yard line. They bring in Jesse Williams to play fullback. And an extra tight end in Vogler. And Lacey gets the rock. And Lacey down to the 1.
Nice cutback, though. Showed good patience, and that's something that can be dangerous down at the goal line, hesitating at the line of scrimmage, but kind of felt his way, knew it wasn't play side, cut it back. Oh, so close.
Lacey now 6 carries for 48 yards.
Well, this is where your big offensive line has got to take over here in situations like this.
2nd down and goal from the 2. Lacey.
Woo. Second effort may have
Ball
gone.
comes out. And McCarron covers it. Let's see if they're going to spot that back at the 5 or rule that the play was dead.
He reached the ball out. Question is, and this will go up to the replay booth. He didn't see an initial call, though, so he wasn't close to the line.
He was knocking on that door around the goal line there, trying to extend it out. And that ball gets batted out of there.
Yeah, they're going to spot it back at the 5. That was a live ball that McCarron saved from being a turnover.
Always dangerous to extend the ball down at the line, at the goal line.
3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line, and I think Georgia wants a timeout. So the play will now be reviewed.
Now we're going to need an opposite angle. I don't think this is going to show much.
Well, I tell you what, you look at Ogletree fill the hole there and take on Lacey man on man. And it looks like Wilson is the one that gets in there and knocks the ball loose.
Number 51, Ramik Wilson, you'll see him come in there after Lacey extends the ball. You'll see 51 punch it out.
So close.
Look, talk about having a camera angle. You're not going to get it from this one. That guy's in the way. Watch 47. He's going to. Only
51.
Thing, yeah, 51. Only thing preventing us from knowing for sure whether or not that ball crossed the line. I don't see how you can overturn this.
Yeah, well, you never see the ball. So far, none of the angles that we see.
Look at that collision, though. Ogletree on Lacey. Wow. Big boy football, guys.
I believe the video evidence will be inconclusive.
That was the best shot that you had.
Ramik Wilson
with
the big play.
Hard to determine whether or not. Of course, I say he was over.
Shouldn't we have a chip in the ball, and when it crosses the beam on the goal line, you know whether you score or not?
They've tried that in other leagues.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
So we got a pass down here coming up. 3rd and goal on the 5. Imagine you're going to see Alabama in a passing formation here.
There's one more look at it. And again, the video evidence inconclusive whether he got it over or not. No one will ever know except maybe the guys down there that were up close and personal on the play. So 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Alabama #1 in the SEC, #9 in the nation in red zone efficiency. They've scored 91% of the time they've been inside the 20. McCarron looking to the corner. It's intercepted. That'll be a touchback. Sanders Cummings with his 3rd pick of the season and his 2nd big play of the quarter.
Well, they had the right guy on the big play receiver for Alabama. You want your best corner, 3rd and goal. The ball's probably coming his way. Sanders Cummings, the top cornerback for Georgia, up in bump and run press coverage there. Looks like trying to throw that back shoulder fade, and Cummings jumped it.
But he didn't turn. He didn't turn his head. Cummings doesn't turn his head. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback because he's not beat.
Sanders Cummings gets the ball back for Georgia. Mark Richt agrees, and the ball goes over to Dogs at the 20. Gurley on the toss. No running room for Gurley whatsoever as he gets knocked backwards by DePriest.
Another penalty flag down. Looks like they may have gotten Andrews blocking the back or some type of holding call on the Georgia center.
2 turnovers now for Alabama in this game.
In that back shoulder fade, you got to have trust in your guy.
Yep.
I mean, you're throwing it out there. You know it's tight coverage. You're expecting your guy to make a play on it there. You got to have a lot of faith in your man.
Alabama can't figure out whether or not they want to accept this penalty.
Holding, number 61, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
And that's one of those deals. Cornerback doesn't turn his head and the ball's thrown up high to the back of the end zone. It's probably a touchdown. But if he does, you throw the backside, it's a touchdown. So you're right. You have to have a lot of faith that everything's going to go right.
5 penalties now on Georgia, only 1 for Alabama. Todd Gurley with a short gain on 1st and 20.
Well, just trying to knock it a little bit with the running game, maybe find a running lane, run that clock a little bit, squeeze something out of the clock, hoping something good happens.
Georgia trying to become just the 3rd team in school history to record 12 wins in a season. Gurley gets back across the original line of scrimmage. DePriest kept him from going any further. But a nice gain for Gurley makes it a little bit more manageable for Georgia on this 3rd down.
Tell you, that's a really good block on the outside. Malcolm Mitchell.
Third down and 6 from the 24. Murray flushed out of the pocket by Dial, throws short, looking for Malcolm Mitchell.
Really disguised the coverage well there. Looked like a cover 2 shell, maybe a cover 2 man. And then at the snap of the ball, that safety vacates, and they switch it up on Murray.
So Aaron Murray and the Georgia Bulldogs will have to give the ball back. Christian Jones, you see him standing there at the 35-yard line for Alabama. Colin Barber on to kick for Georgia, standing at the 10. Jones calls fair catch, makes it at the 30. And that's where Alabama goes back on offense. Crimson Tide missing a golden opportunity the last time they had the ball, and there's a Georgia player down on the field as well.
Well, this Georgia defense now is really hunkered down here in the first half, trying to keep Alabama off the scoreboard.
1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide at the 30-yard line. TJ Yeldon stutter step, and Yeldon up to the 36-yard line. 6-yard gain for Yeldon.
Lacey, the leading ball carrier for Alabama today, 7 carries for 48 yards. McCarron 7 of 12 passing for 96. But he did throw a crucial interception on their last possession.
I think this misdirection is the way to go against this Georgia defense. They pursue so quickly. I think that misdirection is something Alabama can use here.
Second down and 4. Yeldon again in a little stutter step, and that bought him enough time to make a cutback and pick up the first down at the 41. TJ Yeldon with just under 850 yards rushing in the regular season and 10 touchdowns.
He is so smooth.
Yeah, he is, and he's a big back, about 215, 220, but he's a guy that likes to shake in the hole a lot. So.
First and 10 from the 41.
Play clock inside 5 again.
McCarron spins and fires to the tight end, Michael Williams. Michael Williams not going very far.
That is really well played there. You got pressure coming off the edge, and Damian Swan replacing where the pressure came from, right where the ball went.
Recognized the play, was able to get out of coverage and adjust quickly. Held on for dear life, but still kept Michael Williams to only a 4-yard gain.
Second down and 7. That was the 20th catch of the season for Michael Williams. Yeldon again sidesteps and gets down to the 41-yard line. That was a great job of recognition by Yeldon to see where the hole was, where he was originally going. No hole. Watching a little sidestep to find the hole.
Michael Williams at tight end. Normally he'll go to the edge. That time he cuts it up in the middle and gets on a linebacker safety.
That was a 14-yard pickup. They feed Yeldon again. This time it looked like he tripped over his offensive lineman's feet. It might have been Barrett Jones that he got tripped up on.
Yeah, and that's really a testament to what Georgia is able to do up the middle with John Jenkins and those guys. Stalemate the center, kind of pushing back a yard. That disrupts the whole play.
Got Jenkins at defensive end. Now Big Kwame Gathers in at the nose tackle. They've been shifting that defensive line around a little bit.
Under 2:20 to play as Lacey now lines up behind McCarron. 2:20 to play in the first half. 7-0 Georgia. Lacey gets it. Lacey burst into the open. It's a foot race for the end zone, and Lacey will score.
Well, patience is a virtue. Alabama on this drive goes back to what they do best. That's running the football. One pass on the possession, everything else on the ground.
Big fella can motor.
The PAT by Shelley ties the game.
Well, he really had a nice running lane, and the big fella hit the lane, and boy, he turned on the jets at that point in time. Well conceived, well blocked play. Off tackle, look, you got the block on Gilliard, slips the tackle, he's off to the races.
15th touchdown of the season for Lacey, and we're tied.
Everybody.
Brian Vogler there doing a nice job at the tight end position, getting up on the second level.
8 carries for 99 yards now for Lacey.
Game on.
Absolutely. 7-7 here, just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Ball will scoot through the back of the end zone. Georgia will have it at the 25. So the Bulldogs now with just under 2 minutes to work with. And the Bulldogs have 2 timeouts remaining.
But Buck, what do you do here?
Get aggressive?
Well, you're playing for the SEC championship, a shot at Notre Dame in the national title game. I believe you got to cut it loose. You got to cherish these possessions. You can't sit on anything right now. And you see coming out in a 3 wide receiver set.
I think you hit him with Gurley right here. Instead, they fire outside to Malcolm Mitchell. Shows you what I know, as Mitchell picks up a first down at the 38-yard line.
Well, again, it's a running play. That's a high percentage pass. You're getting in the playmaker's hand out on the perimeter. I love the call.
And it's a numbers game. They put 3 out there. We run it in the middle. They put 2. We throw it.
14-yard pickup. Georgia quickly back to the line at the 39. Complete. Tavares King spins around down at the 49. First down for Georgia again. Consecutive first downs on short passing plays. Got
Stinson down, one of the defensive linemen for Alabama. Georgia's offensive line, I've been so impressed here in the first half of this ball game. To say they're dominating it would be untrue, but they're holding their own against one of the toughest defensive fronts in college football. I've been very impressed with the way this offensive line is blocked here in the first half.
I tell you, Aaron Murray, though, has really helped them out by getting rid of the football quick. I mean, he's 1, 2, 3, throw the football. He's not asking his offensive line to hold up against the Alabama front four. That's a big loss for Alabama as well. Stinson's a guy that gets extensive playing time.
See Theus there, the freshman offensive tackle. Where would Georgia be without him? He has been tremendous his first year. He's a future star. We've seen him cutting his teeth here this season.
Has started every game so far this season. Really was kind of pushed into the starting role quicker than expected because of the continued ineligibility of Colton Houston. Murray going for it all. Intercepted by Clinton Dix at the 17, and he'll bring it back the other way. Clinton Dix across the 50 and at the 46. Murray a little shaken up, and Alabama shaking and baking on offense now, and they'll have the ball at the 46.
I'm not sure where he was trying to fit that ball. The receiver was outside on the hash. He's throwing it inside where the coverage is. A mistake by Murray.
It looks like a 3 vertical route. You're hoping that inside receiver holds the safety, but Clinton Dix
it's not even close to
over.
The receiver.
He reads the eyes, knows where he's going. That ball has to be completed within 25 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's the first costly mistake by Georgia. Question is, can Alabama capitalize?
Question is Murray going to be okay? It looked like Quentin Dial got a piece of him there on the return. Of course, it's free game.
And unfortunately for the quarterback, you're the first guy. The defense looks for an opportunity because at that point, there is no helmet to helmet.
You're like a Target store. You got that big red circle right on you as soon as that ball is intercepted. First guy they go looking for is the quarterback. Handoff to Yeldon. Yeldon down inside the 39-yard line as he gets 8 on the play.
Alabama has 3 timeouts at their disposal. They want to be aggressive here, but also be smart with the ball.
Oh, just unloaded it. You got to have your head on a swivel right there. And he saw him just at the last split second. Not sure what the throw was about. Too far inside.
McCarron off his back foot has to get rid of it as Georgia was up in his grill, and it's going to be 3rd down and short.
That is an awesome play by the quarterback there. You're waiting. You know the clock's ticking. You see a flash, get rid of the football, throw it away.
Yeah, Murray's one of these guys, you look at him and you think he's not such a tough guy. He really likes the contact, although I don't think he liked that contact.
No, nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that.
3rd and 1 now. You got to pick up the first down. Alabama needs to go ahead and get on a quick snap. Georgia's called a timeout. They weren't set.
And Georgia will have 1 timeout remaining. Aaron Murray watches after throwing the pick that perhaps has set up Alabama for a chance to grab the lead before halftime. Handoff, Yeldon.
I believe he got it on the push.
Yeah, I think he got just enough to get the first down.
You know, it's interesting, though, Matt, why Alabama chooses to bundle it all up. Why not spread them out and run the ball? Unless you don't want the edge pressure, you want to make sure you're securing that.
Clock moving again, under 30 seconds to play in the half, and Alabama still has all 3 timeouts remaining. 1st and 10 from the 36. Heavy pressure. Yeldon picks up the blitz. McCarron will run to the edge and step out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Nice job of protection by the freshman Yeldon.
I'm not sure why Alabama didn't call a timeout there. They wasted about 20 seconds.
Well, I mean, it's not like you can use them in the second half.
Right.
You better use them while you can.
And you still need another 10 yards for what you would consider a chip shot field goal. So still setting up a long field goal.
Down to 14 seconds in the half. It's 2nd down and 2 from the 27. McCarron chased out of the pocket. Wide open space. Runs inside the 10 and down to the 6 with 5 seconds. And a timeout called by Alabama, I think. Yep, they used their timeout after a 22-yard heads-up play by McCarron.
You know, you can never say this play would have happened had Alabama called a timeout before the prior snap, but 5 seconds, you have to kick the field goal here. You do not have enough time to run another football play. Even if you catch and throw quick, the quarter's over, the half's over.
But the 22-yard gain by McCarron will set him up for a chip shot field goal attempt.
Well, just to leave the first half with the lead, I think is a big boost to Alabama here after Georgia had a lot of success here in the first half. They let the lead slip away.
Jeremy Shelley comes on with McCarron holding. So the pick by Aaron Murray may turn into 3 and a lead here for Alabama. It's a 23-yard attempt from the left side hash. Shelley is a perfect 10 for 10 on the season. And he hits his 11th in a row to give Alabama a 10-7 lead at halftime.
And I think Alabama's extremely fortunate the way they played in the first half. Georgia did a great job of taking the fight to Alabama. A couple of plays, though, in the second quarter allowed Alabama to sneak back into this one.
Halftime at the Georgia Dome. Halfway through the 21st SEC championship game, and Alabama leads Georgia 10-7. Start of the third quarter, Matt Stewart, Buck Belue, and Tyler Watts. Alabama with a 10-7 lead. 30 minutes away from their 23rd SEC championship in school history and their first since 2009, and also a spot in the BCS National Championship game. Of course, Georgia only 3 points behind as we begin the third quarter. Mitchell watch it go over his head, and so the Bulldogs will take over at the 25-yard line to start the third quarter.
So you look at the run-pass ratio in the first half. Georgia 18 passes, 10 runs out of the running back. You look at Alabama, 18 runs, 14 passes. Alabama has gotten into the flow offensively with that running game.
I don't understand why both sides don't run the ball more on first down, though. They're having good success getting ahead of the chains. We just haven't called Gurley's name much ever since that first quarter. I look for Georgia to go back to the running game.
Gurley, the Bulldogs' leading rusher. In fact, he has all of their yards on the ground, 8 for 46. Marshall got 3 yards on the ground. And then Murray lost a couple himself. So 45 yards rushing for Georgia in the first half, and Gurley has 46. And Gurley will get the rock to start the third quarter, and Gurley gets about 6 on the play.
And that's more like it. That's what you want. You want production on first down and 10. They were horrendous in the first half on first down and 10. So many second and 10 pluses. That's what they want right there.
They feed it to Gurley again, and Gurley stopped short of the first down.
3rd and 1 situation. Both sides will go heavy here. You can expect another run.
Ed Stinson did make that tackle for Alabama. We saw him walk gingerly off the field late in that second quarter.
Well, you want to win the SEC, play for a national championship, you need to take charge of this game in the third quarter, and that's directed at both teams.
Georgia has been a much stronger team in the third quarter than Alabama this season. Georgia has outscored Alabama 156-51 in the third quarter. long pass, and it is caught across the 40-yard line. Super play by Tavares King. Dion Blue had great coverage, and King still caught it.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. Murray and King lived together part of the summer, selling out to get chemistry ready for this season there. They've got great chemistry. You saw it on that play.
It was a 31-yard pickup. Todd Gurley breaking tackles and down inside the 30 to the 26 as he gets 4 more.
Adrian Hubbard had an opportunity there, just wasn't able to wrap up, keep his feet up under him.
2nd down and 1 for Georgia. Do they keep it on the ground and get creative here? No, they keep it on the ground, and Gurley crashes across. Left tackle makes the 1st down.
Had Burnett, the right guard, pulling. He got right up behind the big fella. Jesse Williams down now. That'd be a huge injury for Alabama there in the middle.
Jesse Williams grabbing his right knee. Let's see if we can see what happened to him right here, going up against David Andrews and then against the guard Dallas Lee.
Yeah, it looks like he just got his leg caught up on the turf there. No give on the turf.
Hyperextended it a little bit.
Gosh.
Ouch.
They get Jesse Williams off the field. Continue to work on his knee over on the sideline. 1st and 10 for Georgia at the 22-yard line. Play action. Going for Malcolm Mitchell, and it's broken up by D. Milner.
Good coverage by D. Milner there. Read Mitchell's eyes when he made the play. He went up through the ball, through his arms, little contact, mutual. Got the position, though. That's good defensive play.
2nd down and 10. Gurley on the cutback. Gurley slices through the defense down to the 5-yard line.
Well, they're feeding the beast right now and running right in the area where big Jesse Williams has been in the middle of that defensive line. And, hey, this Gurley kid, he's elusive and he's strong. Look at the shots he's taking. He's still falling forward.
They give it back to Gurley. Gurley this time stopped at the 4-yard line.
Running on 1st, play action on 2nd. It's what they do in the NFL.
I just love the way this kid runs north and south.
Yeah.
You see a lot of these guys want to run to the sideline as a freshman. None of that. He's turning it up north and south as soon as he sees it.
15 carries for 80 yards for Todd Gurley. 34 yards already here in the first 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Gurley crashes in. Violent collision at the 1-yard line, and he gets into the end zone.
Got a little help from his friends there, but hey, that's legal.
Yeah.
Feeding the beast, Todd Gurley. Riding the big fella. And look at the explosion into the inside linebacker. And the pile keeps pushing forward. Can't believe they won't review this.
3-yard touchdown run for Todd Gurley puts Georgia back on top.
Play is under further review.
And the previous play is under review.
Well, look at the explosion into the contact there, knocking the big linebacker back. I don't see the knee down. He continues to push. Offensive line getting in on the show a little bit there. That's big boy football.
That was Trey DePriest that came up and delivered the lick in the hole, but Gurley got the better of him.
Well, there, and you watch the knee underneath the pile.
Still up.
Didn't look like it ever made contact with the ground. And again, it goes back to the rule. It has to be conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field. And the call on the field is a touchdown.
Well, Georgia's been excellent in the 3rd quarter this year. They've scored a lot of points. Again, this is the time where you want to grab control of the game. And what a better way to do it than get the second half started with a touchdown drive. You put 7 on the scoreboard.
Another look at it right here.
Looks like rugby at this point.
If it stands, a very authoritative drive for Georgia. 9 plays, 75 yards. You had the big pass play to DeForest King that got you over midfield, but a lot of Todd Gurley on that possession.
That's what they're looking at. Was his knee down?
And again,
well, he's on top of DePriest, it looks like.
Well, right there he is, but just prior, his right knee was pretty close.
Big Theus and Gates in there pushing the pile.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands touchdown.
Georgia's on top 13-10. Officially. Marshall Morgan will try to make it a 4-point game. Which he does.
Barely.
So 2 minutes and 51 seconds into the third quarter. Georgia comes out and drives 75 yards for the touchdown to reclaim the lead.
Wow.
Todd Gurley carried the load on that third quarter drive. 45 yards for Georgia in the first half. They had 43 in the first 2:51 of the third quarter, and they now lead as Jones lets that thing go into the end zone, and the ball will come out to the 25.
Yeah, real important right here for Alabama to have some success on the offensive side. See Jesse Williams there, a towel over his head. He has an ice pack on his knee as well. Big loss though for Alabama.
So we'll see if the Crimson Tide can answer. As you see Jesse Williams sitting at the end of the bench, doesn't look like he'll be getting back in the ball game anytime soon. First and 10 for Bama from the 25. Lacey with a big hole. Lacey across the 40 up to the 41, and that'll put him up over 100 yards rushing for the ball game. And it looks like this third quarter might be the Eddie Lacy and Todd Gurley show. Who can do better?
Yeah, I think both offensive staffs got in there at halftime and said, you know what, we're looking at the numbers. They haven't stopped us running the ball. We got to get back to what we do best.
Well, right here you had Fluke, who just crushed John Jenkins man on man in that running game. Blew up in a huge hole for Lacey to hit.
Bama had triple the rush yards that Georgia did in the first half. First and 10 from the 42. McCarron on a play action. Runs right into the Georgia defense. Third sack of the night for the Bulldogs.
Jarvis Jones at the bottom of the pile there, also getting some help from the big boys, Jenkins and Gathers.
3 sacks for Georgia in this game.
And they're all coverage sacks also. You know, really nowhere to go with the football here. That was a busted route there. Amari Cooper didn't clear the area.
Second down and 16. Lacey not going very far. Lacey runs right into number 56, Garrison Smith. And remember, Georgia playing a man down on the defensive line over the last month of the season with Avery Jones out for the rest of the year following ankle surgery.
Marlo Herrera also in on the tackle there. Very physical linebacker. Brings up a 3rd and long.
3rd and 13 to be exact. Neither team did well on 3rd downs in the first half. Amari Cooper picks up the first down. Good things seem to happen when you throw the ball to Amari Cooper. That's his 5th catch of the game.
Really nice block by Michael Williams along with Barrett Jones getting out front.
Really loved the play, too. They had trips to the right, Cooper down to the left. And just you get the ball in the playmaker's hands, man. That's good coaching.
I'll tell you what, Alec Ogletree, he doesn't have a good hustle play there. That's a touchdown.
16 yards on the play. Cooper 5 catches for 78 yards. 1st and 10 now from the 45. Eddie Lacy on the cutback. Slices inside to get 5 yards on the play.
Balanced look on both sides. 2 tight ends. Run right up the middle. Seems like neither one of these running backs needs a whole lot of space to be able to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
6 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Lacy with 12 carries for 119. That includes a 41-yard touchdown run in the 2nd quarter. Both these teams trying to establish physical dominance at the line of scrimmage. There's Cooper again. Got by one man. And then another. And close to the 1st down, Amari Cooper. He made 2 guys miss before 2 guys finally got him on the ground.
That's what he does, man. Just such a great athlete, and they're taking advantage of the soft coverage, getting them the ball on the line of scrimmage, and again, you let your playmaker do the work.
Jordan Jenkins, though, at that defensive end position kind of affected the passing lane that A.J. McCarron had to throw to, and I think that slowed up the reception.
Third down and short. Georgia crowds the line. Lacy gets it, and Lacy gets the 1st down.
Not really a shock or surprise what's coming here. Just right up the middle. Good job by Chance Warmack.
It's one thing knowing what's coming, and now another one trying to stop it.
Now you got Yeldon in the game for Alabama.
First and 10 from the 35. Fake to Yeldon. McCarron steps up and then throws it to Yeldon and in and out of his hands.
Boy, you just hold your breath when that ball gets popped up into the air like that.
Yeah, you do. And Alabama in an effort once again to stay balanced, continuing to throw on 1st down, and that's fine. But if you don't complete the pass and pick up positive yardage, you set yourself up in a tough situation to move the chains.
Can't throw it any better than that.
McCarron is 10 for 17, 113, 1 interception.
Yeah, we got confusion here in the backfield for Alabama.
The 1 interception was really costly because it came on a goal line situation. Alabama came up empty, but they're driving again here about midway through the 3rd quarter. Yeldon gets the ball, runs right into John Jenkins. This will be 3rd down, and I talked earlier about how neither one of these teams had done very well on 3rd down today. That's because they've been facing 3rd and +7s pretty much the entire game.
Well, here in the 2nd half, all these 3rd downs get bigger and bigger.
Yeah. You know, if you pass the ball here, a sack is something you cannot take. It knocks you out of any opportunity for a field goal.
McCarron given protection and broken up. They tried to get the ball to Amari Cooper, and a flag is out on Brandon Smith.
We couldn't see it from our angle. The only thing it could have been was that right hand hooking on the backside.
Mark Richt really giving the sideline official there the business.
Ball's tipped, they're saying.
There is no foul for pass interference. The ball was tipped. 4th down.
50-yard field goal.
Yeah, it looks like Cornelius Washington got a little tip on it.
So you see that right hand did hook him.
But of course that becomes inconsequential after the ball was tipped by Cornelius Washington, and now a long field goal attempt here for Alabama. Cade Foster will attempt a 49-yarder to pull Alabama to within one. Kick is blocked and recovered. It's a scoop and score for Georgia. Alec Ogletree races to the end zone.
Wow, the protection on that, goodness. He never had a shot to get that ball elevated on that play. Right straight up the middle. Kicker never had a shot.
(20-10). Marshall Morgan makes it an 11-point game. What a swing, and just as Alabama was poised to cut it to one, the block by Georgia, the scoop and score by Alec Ogletree, and Georgia has a 21-10 lead.
Cornelius Washington splits the gap. He's got that long reach, able to get the arm up and get the block.
A dramatic swing for the Georgia Bulldogs, who now lead by 11 with 6:31 to play in the third quarter. Matt Stewart, Buck Belue, and Tyler Watts. Cornelius Washington affecting back-to-back plays there. Deflected a pass that negated what looked like was going to be a pass interference call. And then he blocks the kick that turns into a 55-yard scoop and score by Alec Ogletree.
Huge 10-point swing. You go from a 14-13 to a 21-10. That's huge.
Jones from the 5. Christian Jones, 17-yard return up to about the 22 or 23. And flags will come out as some pushing and shoving going on the kickoff coverage.
How you want to start a drive if you're Georgia.
And a man down for the Bulldogs as well. So Alabama, that has been not only this season, but over the last 3 or 4 years, one of the best teams at taking care of the ball, protecting the ball, not giving giveaways.
After the play,
3 turnovers
personal
in this
foul
ball game
unnecessary
that Georgia's
roughness,
won.
number 44, Georgia, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty is going to be on Georgia. A 15-yard personal foul penalty. It's Blake Sailors on the special teams coverage, number 7, who's down right now.
He's cramped up, huh? You see here in the middle of the screen, 44 gets the penalty for the Dogs. Gets pushed, and then you see the backhand slap. Then the push to the ground. Yeah, it's ugly.
That was T.J. Stripling, a backup linebacker, and those things you cannot do, especially when the officials are watching you. 6 penalties now for Georgia. Only 1 penalty on Alabama for 5 yards.
That's pretty predictable.
Hadn't really affected anything, though. They've been able to overcome a lot of it.
No, there's absolutely one statistic almost guaranteed that you can measure, whether it's a Pop Warner game or an NFL Super Bowl. It's the turnover. You lose the turnover battle. It's very hard to win any game, especially one that is as evenly matched as a championship game.
Yeah, and a blocked field goal, really, that is a turnover.
1st and 10. Ball is at the 38 for Alabama. Let's see if they can muster any offense here after falling behind now by 2 scores. They give it to Yeldon. Stick with the game plan, and Yeldon picks up 4 or 5 yards on the play.
Big DJ Fluker's upset over there. He's trying to get him fired up. This is a big series, I would think. Now's the time to try to answer this thing if you're Alabama.
Second down and 6. Yeldon on the cutback. Yeldon splits the defense and down to the 28.
So many times it seems like they just continue to go back to the run, these little cutback lanes, over pursuing. Just a missed opportunity there in the hole, and Yeldon takes advantage, but good pursuit by Rambo.
Had Steen and Fluker double teaming John Jenkins at defensive end, just created a huge hole to run through.
That was a 41-yard pickup for T.J. Yeldon.
How does Alabama get away from it, or do they continue to run the ball?
Yeldon will continue to run the ball. It gets thrown to the ground viciously by, yep, you guessed it, Alec Ogletree.
He's coming with mean intentions, number 9.
Probably another play or two. Eddie Lacy will check back into the game. Another scoring opportunity, though, and you have to take advantage of your scoring opportunities. Field goals aren't going to get it done either. They didn't adjust. Georgia has not adjusted to the formation.
Vogler, the tight end, is the one split up at the way top of your screen. McCarron looks across the middle for Norwood and does not connect. And a flag out.
Got Damian Swan. He hooked him with the right arm. Ball's overthrown. No real need to make a play on the receiver there.
You're right. I think he panicked, though, because the guy got behind him.
In another case, though, Buck, where the ball is thrown further outside than it needed to be, has the whole middle of the field. You just weary of that safety. That ball is not catchable.
Pass interference, number 5, defense, 15-yard penalty
But
for
it's
foul.
close enough. So you're going to get that call.
Jarvis Jones pleading his case with the referee, pointing that out. Didn't feel like the ball was catchable. Those DBs love to hook them with that right arm.
It's just so tempting.
Yeah.
You're trying to climb, and you have to have something to pull down on.
7 penalties now on Georgia. Of course, my retort, if I was the official, I would say, well, if it was uncatchable, why'd you tackle it?
Right.
Why'd you worry about
Well,
it?
if you didn't hold him, it might have been catchable.
There you go. First and goal to go for Alabama from the 10. Hand off to Yeldon. Yeldon right through the defense for the touchdown. T.J. Yeldon as Alabama answers.
Alabama will go for 2 here. Try to make it a 3-point game. Little confusion on what to do.
Well, that's a big-time drive there. That keeps you in the ball game. It answers Georgia. Grab the momentum back here. Make it a ball game again.
And aided by a couple of costly mistakes by Georgia. You were talking about the discipline of them. See a late substitution as Christian Jones comes into the huddle.
And Tyler, you were quick to say go for 2 here. It's still really early in the ball game. You go for the 2 here for sure, right?
Yeah, I mean,
they're doing it. I mean, you're right.
I just saw Saban hold up 2. That's
okay, there
said.
you go. I was getting ready to say, you're really tuned in.
I won't take the credit for that.
Tyler's really tuned in here.
I think there's a running opportunity to the left side of the line of scrimmage.
They've had a running opportunity the entire night. Over 200 yards rushing for Alabama as Yeldon finishes the deal on the 2-point conversion to make it 21-18.
You know, you want to be able to pull within a field goal, but psychologically and emotionally, now after a couple of bad plays, just like that, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter to get back within a field goal of this game, Alabama, they couldn't feel much more fortunate than they do right now.
Did not take them long to answer the Georgia score. Only 2 minutes and 6 seconds to drive 62 yards. Yeldon crashing through the defense to make it 21-18. This is shaping up for one heck of a finish here at the Georgia Dome. We still have 4:19 to play here in the third quarter. Alabama answering quickly after the Georgia score on the block field goal, and then getting the 2-point conversion on top of that to make it 21-18. No return.
You know, it's been interesting how, because of the rule with kickoffs, how coaches have changed the way that they attack that. You'll see a lot of them pooch it high, try to pin them inside the 5, hoping to gain 5 or 6 yards. I think in a game like this, though, you just want to kick it out of the back.
Yeah.
You don't want another explosive play by your opponent.
That's a great point. Georgia will start at the 25-yard line.
Well, the way Alabama's running that football right now, this Georgia offense needs to give that D a little bit of a breather here, let them regroup. They need a first down or two minimum.
Georgia back on offense. Ultimately, this game might be decided by Georgia's ability or inability to stop Alabama's run game. That's Gurley on the carry. He has carried the load for Georgia today. That was C.J. Mosley making the tackle for Alabama. He has been Georgia's running game, while Alabama has countered with the two-handed punch of Lacey and Yeldon, both over 100 yards rushing each. Second down. Gurley met in the hole by Mosley again.
Brandon Ivory also doing a good job. He'll substitute in for Jesse Williams at that nose guard position. Did a good job flowing to the football. Now's where it gets tough, though.
There's Jesse Williams over there on the sideline. Got his helmet on and standing up. Last time we saw him had an ice pack on his left knee. Third down and 4. Conley broken up. Geno Smith has been all over Chris Conley in this ball game, and a quick 3-and-out for Georgia.
That ball thrown a little bit behind him. Otherwise, that's probably a first down. And also, Buck, Aaron Murray had an opportunity to go to Gurley on a little arrow route up the middle. He did a nice job of getting in the middle of the field.
Well, they obviously game planned this. Remember the first series of the game in the first quarter? They ran that on third down, the same exact play.
Yep. And Geno Smith broke that one up, too. Barber standing at the 16-yard line to kick. Christian Jones is deep for Alabama. Alabama wants to set up a return. Fair catch is called for. Too high to get a return off that. Christian Jones making the grab earlier when going for the 2. Not necessarily mathematically the thing to do there, but it was a real momentum thing. And you feel like the momentum, even though Georgia had that big block, it seems like Alabama got all the momentum right back.
It's as much for the defense as it is for the offense.
There's Lacey. Lacey bounces off of a man and just runs over Bakari Rambo in the open field and finally dropped at the 40-yard line. I go back to what I said a few moments ago. This game might ultimately be decided by Georgia's ability or inability to stop Alabama's run, which they have not been able to do so far in this game.
And I think you're finally starting to see both offensive coordinators recognizing that, and they're just going to give the ball to their running back and let their offensive linemen take over. This was probably a missed opportunity to cut back, but because he kept the center of gravity underneath him, he's able to spin out of the arm tackle.
That was a 33-yard gain by Eddie Lacey. Lacey, another big hole for Eddie Lacey, and now Alabama is gashing Georgia's defense.
Well, Buck, I'm not sure. I didn't catch who it was, but somebody in the middle of that line got off and made a tackle right there at the end. I believe it was Barrett Jones on Alec Ogletree that opened up that crease.
Well, they're running around blocks now up on that defensive line. Gathers there in the middle. You got to stand stronger than that.
First and 10 for the Crimson Tide from the 27. Lacey. Wow! Georgia can't get him on the ground. Another first down carry.
You know, to me, this guy, when he gets under his pads there, they talk about wrapping up. There's no way you're going to wrap up this guy.
That's the best thing you can do right there is continue to drive your feet. Patience, patience, then hit the crease.
Even Mark Ingram's impressed.
That's a 17-yard gasher for Eddie Lacey right there. And Sean Williams, who called out the Georgia defense and really got him inspired for the final month of the season, even he couldn't bully him down.
That's an 18-wheeler to me.
181 yards rushing for Lacey in this game. chance to add to his total. He's bouncing off guys right now. Finally, Georgia, with a second effort, gets him on the ground at the 15.
Yeah, one problem Georgia has here is they're really thin on the defensive line. Avery Jones went down earlier this year, and they're really going with 3 down linemen in this game. You got Smith, Gathers, and Jenkins, and they're just out there trying to survive, those 3 guys right now.
Big play here on 2nd and long, though. You got to get in a manageable opportunity to get it on 3rd.
2nd down and 12. Does Alabama keep it on the ground? It has been their recipe for success here in the 3rd quarter. They give it to Yeldon now. Yeldon bursts through the Georgia defense down to the 2.
They're having to be patient, allow the blocks to develop, allow the lanes to open up. But both of these backs have done exactly that.
Georgia bleeding on defense right now.
They're just hoping to get to the end of this quarter.
I say somehow you can hold them to 3. That'd be a tremendous success.
This might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Yeldon did not get in. Yeldon stopped inside the 1-yard line on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Quarter started well for Georgia. They scored twice, but then Alabama's running game came to life, and it's 21-18. Start of the 4th quarter. 2nd down and goal for the Crimson Tide from the 1, and Jesse Williams, who had to be helped off the field with an injury to his left knee, is back in there, lined up at fullback. Eddie Lacy with a new career high 179. He had 177 at Missouri earlier this year, and he's closing in on the SEC single game record too. And he goes up and over the top to put Alabama back up and over the top.
Only fitting that the workhorse on that drive would get an opportunity to take it in. And good to see that young man in as well.
Well, it's the heart of a champion. That's what Alabama is here. They go down 21-10. You think they're reeling a little bit, and gosh, a couple minutes later, they've grabbed a hold of the game again. Just relentless.
And now that 2-point conversion gives them the chance to have a 4-point lead.
Yeah.
That was not intended at the time, but an added bonus as Alabama leads 25-21. Eddie Lacy having a heck of a night. We're still early in the 4th quarter.
Tune in.
Just 3 seconds into the 4th quarter. Alabama on top. You see the touchdown catch by Rome early for Georgia. And then some strong running, just a forebearing of the night to come. A 41-yard jaunt by Eddie Lacy, and he was just getting started. The field goal by Shelley to make it 10-7. And then Georgia came out running the ball in the 3rd quarter, getting in on the Gurley run. The block by Cornelius Washington, the scoop and score by Alec Ogletree. At the time, looked like Georgia had all the momentum. It was 21-10. But all that did was awaken the slumbering running game of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeldon 10 yards right up the middle. And then Eddie Lacy was 61 of the 74 yards on that last drive, and Bama back on top after the Yeldon 2-point conversion.
Well, this has been a good one, guys. Back and forth, some hard hits.
It's what you would expect out of the 2 and 3 team in the country, isn't it?
This is classic.
(25-21) with a lot of ball game left to play. Let's see if Georgia, which the last time they touched the ball seemed like they had the momentum. They had that 3 and out. Man, they didn't see the ball again for the rest of the quarter.
Well, they might want to try to keep that Alabama running attack over on the sideline for a few minutes.
We'll see if Georgia can reestablish the running game that they had early in that third quarter. There will be no return. Cade Foster did have a field goal blocked and taken back the other way, but he has been an effective weapon.
Huge drive here for Georgia offensively. The game's starting to slip away. They got to grab that momentum back here.
First and 10 from the 25. Pass is caught at the 42-yard line. Another big catch by Malcolm Mitchell.
I mean, that is a tight window. He's fitting it in there. And I tell you, great coverage. And Malcolm Mitchell, you got to give the receiver credit. He's getting blown up as the ball gets there. What a magnificent catch. DB arrived a little bit early.
Yeah, Clinton Dix actually hit him before the ball got there. Malcolm Mitchell held on for his fourth catch of the evening as Gurley gets the rock again. That'll put him right at 100 yards, about 98 yards now on the night for Todd Gurley.
Something we're not used to, only a 1.5, 2-yard gain by the Georgia running game.
We're about to have our third 100-yard rusher in this game.
Wow, amazing.
Spread Oregon-type offenses, not in the Southeastern Conference, buddy. You're going to get your nose bloodied in this league. Going for the home run. It's caught. Tavares King with another big-time grab at the 11-yard line.
Well, that coverage, that middle of the field just opened up so wide. Aaron Murray knew he had the big play. Didn't want to overthrow it or underthrow it. Just stick it out there in the middle. Just a great move there to the inside by TK.
Double move, little corner post.
44-yard completion from Aaron Murray to Tavares King. Now Todd Gurley gets the ball back and gets stopped after about a 2-yard gain by Clinton Dix, the safety. Tavares King now with 118 yards receiving. Almost 65% of Aaron Murray's pass completion yardage in this game has gone to his veteran senior, who you already pointed out, Buck. They spent the summer together refining this passing game. Paying off for him here tonight at the Georgia Dome.
That was coming off that Georgia record-setting performance TK had in the bowl game.
Second down, Gurley. Inside the 5, touchdown!
Wow.
That's unreal. Contact made at the 6-yard line, and he said, I'm running through this.
Well, you had to answer. You knew they had to answer. What a tremendous drive for the Georgia offense there. And Bobo dialing up some beauties there, especially that double move to Tavares King, the big play on the drive.
Now to make it a 3-point game. Morgan Marshall does. Or Marshall Morgan, pardon me, makes it a 28-25 game. This is like two big heavyweights just slugging each other in the face right now.
Wonder what Notre Dame's thinking.
Glad we got 6 weeks to get ready for one of them.
Yeah.
2 minutes and 6 seconds into the fourth quarter as these two heavyweights continue to pound on each other. Georgia answers with a 5-play, 75-yard drive to reclaim the lead at 28-25.
We just never really know what to expect in these big games, but this has been more than anybody expected here. Back and forth, a real heavyweight battle.
Christian Jones will have a chance to return this one from the 1. And Jones no further than the 21. Did the ball pop out? The officials get in there to try to figure it out. Georgia says they have it. The officials have not yet given an indication. And Alabama was able to get back on top of it, if indeed they ever lost it in the first place. Georgia seemed convinced that the ball had been out.
Got a little pushing and shoving going on out there.
This is probably one that's going to go against. It's going to be a double.
Sheldon Dawson and Milliner, I believe, were mixing it up a little bit. Yeah, that ball's out of there, isn't it?
Sure is.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 28, Alabama. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
They got
Ball
Milliner.
was out, yeah. Ball was
Popped right back up to him.
knocked out by Marla Herrera, number 52. You see, he got the hand in there and raked it free as he was making the tackle, just shoved it through. But Christian Jones got twisted up like a pretzel, but still got on top of the thing.
Alabama needs to get out there on the field. The play clock has started.
The penalty on Alabama right there was just their second of the ball game. Yeldon. And Yeldon picks up close to the first down, got nearly 10 on the play.
Just another big running lane there.
Yeah.
They're able to move this defensive line around, giving these Alabama backs some big lanes to hit.
I know Georgia just reclaimed the lead, but it's going to be very difficult for Georgia to win this game if they don't find a way to stop Alabama from running the football.
Maybe sneak another couple of guys on the field.
Alabama over 300 yards rushing in this game. They swing it out there to Amari Cooper, and Cooper gets dropped right where he catches the ball.
That's really a good job by Damian Swan there. You're out on an island against one of the more talented guys on the field, and he just was able to hold on until he got some help.
Did a much better job, though, on that play of not committing. Go ahead and allowing contact to be made. Holding your ground, looking at the belly button.
Second down and 9. Back to the ground game, and Yeldon, and a familiar result as he picks up another first down. Another 10 yards.
You know, if I'm Doug Nussmeier, I don't throw the ball. I mean, there's just no reason to. The way that this offensive line, you see the push there. He doesn't slip. That might have been a bigger gain.
Well, Quanjo had his man at least 8 yards down the field there, running right behind him.
And that's the beauty of the pistol formation. You don't know what side it's going to as a traditional offset back in a gun formation.
Yeldon runs right into Alec Ogletree. Great battle right there. And Ogletree gets him on the ground after a 4-yard gain.
Ogletree actually did a nice job filling that hole right there.
Shaking
Shed a
off the
blocker.
block.
Yeah.
Second down and 6. Ball is just across the 36.
Ogletree's a linebacker and a safety body.
Handoff to Yeldon. Yeldon turns the corner and gets another first down.
Gilliard there trying a little grab at the jersey. I'm going to tell you now, that's not going to bring down either one of these Alabama running backs. You see 35 in the hole there. You got to do a better job than that.
First and 10, ball at the 44-yard line. Under 10 minutes to play. And if the SEC championship isn't enough, a spot in the BCS National Championship riding on the outcome of this game. And there is Lacey back in the ball game, and Lacey, for one of the few times, gets stopped. They don't get him on the ground, but they do stop his momentum.
Big John Jenkins got a little game left in him.
Yeah.
Getting tired of getting pushed around, it looks like.
Alabama is averaging 7.4 yards per carry in this game.
Todd Grantham searching for an answer.
Well, that's a bad mathematical equation for Todd Grantham.
Boy, howdy.
Second down and 8. Lacey, and Georgia comes up with 2 big stops versus the running game here.
I tell you, John Jenkins on the last 2 plays has really done a good job of beating Barrett Jones across the face. He's the one that's kind of blowing these plays up. Or is it Gathers?
Yeah, it's Kwame Gathers there at nose.
Yep.
And this, I tell you, a stop here is so huge.
Yes.
I mean, these are the biggest plays of the season right now.
It's 3rd down and 6. Does Alabama go back to the ground where they're getting 7 yards a carry? Do they go to the air? It's an empty backfield. That might be your answer right there. It is to the air they go. McCarron dancing. Runs out of real estate. Thrown to the ground at the 50-yard line as Georgia comes up with the stop. Jordan Jenkins, the freshman linebacker, was able to get to him before he could get to the sticks.
Coverage sack. Just good coverage. He's got nowhere to go with it.
All night long, when Georgia has gotten Alabama in throwing situations, there's been nowhere to go with the ball. They have taken away that crossing route across the middle. So good.
4th down and 4. Mandel on there to punt, standing at his 36-yard line. End over end kick. McGowan makes a fair catch at the 6-yard line. 7:14 to play. Georgia leading by 3. And back on offense, can they run the ball enough to keep it out of the hands of Alabama? Instead, they're going to go to the air and look for a big hitter against Tavares King and overthrow him at the 36. King has been their big play wide receiver all season. That has continued in this game, but this time they do not connect.
Still is able to create a little separation, though, which is promising for Georgia. Nice job of moving the pocket, bought him an extra second or 2. He didn't have to worry about the pressure.
What you're trying to do there, Bobo, trying to get him off this goal line area. You know, he had an open receiver, just missed him.
He has been the difference, though.
Gurley up across the 15 and to the 16. About an 8 or 9 yard gain for Todd Gurley.
Wow, what a big play right here. 3rd and short. No doubt who's going to get the ball.
Less than 6:40 to play in the SEC championship game. Georgia trying to win it for the first time since 2005. Gurley did not get there.
He needed the 18, and he's short.
Looks like Alabama may have come up with the stop that they so dearly needed.
It was a power running formation. 2 tight ends are going to wrap that guard around, and Dallas Lee just got stuffed in there.
Yeah. Look who it was who made the tackle. Jesse Williams stuck his shoulder pad in there and plugged up the hole.
D. Miller coming in late, also preventing from reaching that ball or getting a second surge.
Jesse Williams playing with a busted knee.
Big punt right here. Can't afford to have a bad one.
Barber standing at his 4 to kick. Alabama trying to set up a return. Christian Jones will not be able to return it. Actually takes it on the hop and steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That was not a bad play by Christian Jones. A dangerous
Saved
play,
himself.
but not a bad play, because if you let that thing keep rolling, you might lose another 15 yards. So instead of you having the ball at the 45-yard line, as Alabama does right now, it might have been back at the 25. 322 yards rushing for Alabama. Lacey 178, Yeldon 127. Will Georgia be able to stop the Crimson Tide running game with 5:24 to play? They'll have to win the SEC. 1st and 10 from the 45. Yeldon trying to get outside, cuts back, and Yeldon gets 2 hard yards on that carry.
Well, I tell you, that's the one thing with Alec Ogletree inside and all that speed he's got at linebacker. It's really, even a guy like Yeldon, it's tough to get outside.
He does a really nice job of Ogletree being able to scrape to the outside. You see, right, Cyrus Quanjo unable to get up to him. Otherwise, that's a huge gain.
2nd down and 7. McCarron dumps it off for Williams, but just a 2-yard gain as Michael Williams unable to keep his feet on his 2nd catch of the contest.
And I think you're in 4-down territory now. Just 4.5 minutes to go. You can't afford to punt the ball right here. This is 4-down territory. And I think that'll dictate the play call as well. Alabama potentially could go back to the run.
It is 3rd down and 5 right here. Ball just nudging the 50.
They've gone 2 tight ends on this whole possession.
Georgia's not aligned right. They need to call a timeout.
We'll see if Alabama's able to take advantage of that, and a timeout has been called by Georgia. They saw what you saw. 3rd down and 5.
Wide split, so more than likely going to be a running play.
We're down to the final 4 minutes. Another big run by Yeldon as he dives across the 45 and picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, these yards after contacts, really for both backs, all 3 backs have been outstanding. Contact made around the 48, 49-yard line. Good presence by Georgia. But Yeldon using that power. Contact made at the 50, picks up another 6 yards.
Buck, you pointed this out a number of times. You cannot tackle that guy up around the shoulder pads. First and 10, ball at the 45, 3.5 to play. Someone's going to end up with a heart broken at the end of this game. McCarron going for the home run. He's got his man out there. Touchdown! Amari Cooper.
What a beautiful throw. A.J. McCarron had his man. He saw it. Swan out of position. McCarron drops the beauty in there.
You know, Buck, and man, you were up here talking about run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I think the DBs kind of get lulled to sleep after a while of not being in the game.
Couldn't have thrown it any better. Hit him in stride.
And a big PAT here to make it a 4-point game. And Georgia will have to score a touchdown in the final 3:15. 45-yard touchdown pass from A.J. McCarron to his favorite target, Amari Cooper. And Alabama strikes deep to reclaim the lead in the SEC championship game. Alabama up by 4. Amari Cooper now with 8 catches for 128 after that 45-yard touchdown grab, and again a non-returnable kickoff for Georgia. So fellas, we've got 3 100-yard rushers. We've got a 100-yard pass receiver in this game. One of these teams is going to play Notre Dame in the BCS National Championship game. It'll be very difficult for that game to be better than this one.
But Matt, you know, 2 timeouts Georgia has at their disposal. I don't think you have to get away from the run right now. You can still utilize your biggest threat in Gurley and allow him to run. You just have to be smart with it. Plenty of time here, though.
The building is loud. Quarterback sack.
Well, they had the T-E stunt going in there. Hubbard coming inside. Inside guy coming outside.
Little
Lee
twist.
and Gates can't handle the twist.
First time all night, Georgia has not picked up that twist. First time all night. Jeffrey Pagan helped set it up.
Hubbard with his 6th sack of the season. It's the 3rd for Alabama tonight, and it puts Georgia in a deep hole. 2nd down and 18. Across the middle, broken up by Ha-Ha Clinton Dix. Nearly jumped that thing. Had he been able to do that, game over.
And Aaron Murray doing the smart. He's just trying to pick up positive yardage, try to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and needs to do the same thing here. You don't have to get it all back on one play.
But you probably do have to cut this 3rd and 18 at least in half. Murray's given time going up top. There's nobody out there except Lester, who nearly tracked it down for an interception, and now it is 4th down.
And you got to punt it now. 3rd and 18. You got to punt the ball.
I'm not sure what that was right there. Not sure where the ball was going, what receiver he's throwing to.
And Buck, as a result of the sack on the 1st down, though, I think he also had that internal clock going, I got to get rid of the ball. Something he's done all night long extremely well. He has not put his offensive line in a bad situation, and he just thought he had to get rid of that ball, but he had plenty of time. They held up strong up front.
Georgia has 2 timeouts remaining. Their defense is going to have to keep Alabama from getting a 1st down. But first the punt by Barber. And it's a boomer, no doubt about it. And caught by Jones at the 35, and that's where Alabama will set down the ball with 2:17 to play.
And that's what you're looking at, a 1st down, the game's over.
Absolutely. Georgia's got 2 timeouts to try to manage the clock from the defensive side of it. The bottom line is only 10 yards now separate Alabama from the SEC championship and a shot at a 3rd BCS championship in 4 years.
But you know what, though? As a result, they're going to sell out. I mean, everybody's up at the line of scrimmage.
Might be a good time to take another shot down to Cooper down the field. He's matched up at the bottom against Damian Swan, the cornerback he just beat moments ago.
1st and 10 from the 36. Alabama trying to put this one away. And they give it to Yeldon, and Yeldon a couple of yards on the play. Georgia quick on the timeout. 2nd and 8. Georgia 1 timeout remaining with the ball at the 38. Alabama snapping it, giving it to Yeldon. Yeldon up across the 40 to the 41, and Georgia just used their last timeout. And so really the game is absolutely on the line right now. 3rd down and 5 coming up, fellas, and Georgia's out of timeouts. Alabama gets a 1st down here. They've got the trophy.
Interesting here in this goal line formation for Alabama. A couple of weeks ago versus A&M, it was T.J. Yeldon who fumbled the ball on what would have been a go-ahead touchdown late in that ball game. This shows the confidence that this coaching staff has in this young freshman. Of course, he's not playing like a freshman anymore.
He has 140 yards rushing in this game. His career high is 144. If he gets that career high, that means Alabama's won the game for sure. All Alabama needs is 5 yards. They give it to Yeldon. Yeldon trying to turn the corner, and he cannot get the 1st down. He did stay in bounds, however, and the clock will run as it's now 4th down and about 2.
Nice job by Georgia, though. Doing a good job scraping, getting to the outside. He had the corner, but once again, just couldn't make that cut and get upfield.
Aaron Murray and the Georgia Bulldogs offense will get one final crack at the football.
Alabama's going to take this all the way down to 1 second and call a timeout.
And I think it's very interesting in that the unintended consequence of Alabama at the time going for 2, they were trying to make it a 3-point game, but does Georgia come after the kick, or do they set up a return? They set up a return here. Mitchell's going to have a chance to get some yardage maybe. Calls a fair catch instead because he had Christian Jones bearing down on him. I thought he had more open space than he ended up having. And so Georgia is 85 yards away with 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining. They have no timeouts. And Aaron Murray gets one more crack at this thing.
Imagine you're going to see Alabama with safeties back on the hash, giving up some underneath intermediate routes, trying to keep them in the field of play.
If you got every DB ever been signed to Alabama in the last 2 years out on the field right now.
The final 68 seconds of the 21st SEC championship game. It is complete to Lynch. He'll try to get to the outside, which he does.
You know, that's
out of bounds.
That's a bad play by Milliner. He keeps him out in bounds, keeps him in front of that first down marker. That clock continues to run.
Are you going to rush 3 now? You're giving Murray a chance to scan the field and throw the football with a 3-man rush, 8-man in coverage.
Ball is at the 24. 62 seconds. They go back to Lynch off of his hands and nearly intercepted.
See, here's a situation. I think you got to go to your playmakers here. You got to get Malcolm Mitchell and Tavares King the ball. I think Alabama very pleased to see Murray throwing it to his tight end, Artie Lynch.
But it also makes you wonder, why is Malcolm Mitchell blocking on that play? Did he just assume that the catch was going to be made?
It's 3rd and 1. Georgia's got to get the first down. They give it to Gurley, and Gurley does get the first down and gets out of bounds.
Good job of getting out of bounds once again. That way, get back up the line of scrimmage.
Now is 51 seconds, and Georgia's still 72 yards away. Down 4. First time these two SEC rivals have ever played in the SEC championship game. It'll be one that will not soon be forgotten. Across the middle and nearly intercepted, was it?
Yes.
Intercepted. Alabama's got it, and Alabama will win the SEC championship.
Murray upset a collision on Conley, the receiver, as the ball arrived. He's complaining about a pass interference, an early hit.
But he's missing his window. His window is at 22 yards. This one's going to be reviewed as well. Did Milliner get up underneath the...
Looks like his hands were underneath it. You see the collision, Sunseri. There on Conley.
But the ball was tipped. So if there was a collision, it happened after the ball had been tipped in the air by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, this one's got a little something to it here.
Yep, they're going to review this thing right now.
And they should. I mean, this is it.
Milner, your finalist for the Thorpe Award. Let's see. Did he get up underneath this thing, or does the ball hit the ground?
Looks like his arm's underneath the play.
But what
the
about
ball
there?
hit the ground.
The ball's on the ground right there.
Backside of the nose may have come down. You're right.
What a great play by Sunseri, though. What a ball hawk. His dad was the same way. Played against his father in the Sugar Bowl way back when, and he's a chip off the old block. Jumping that route. Great coverage by the Alabama safety on that play.
It looked like initially he got his hand underneath the football, but on a second bobble, it looked like the ball actually ended up hitting the ground and he trapped his body on top of it. I don't know if that's what the replay officials are seeing, but this thing's going to be very close.
And if I'm Georgia, I'm assuming this is going to get overturned. And I'm getting my guys together, getting them ready to get back out on the field, because they were throwing helmets after the play and everything. You got to get them refocused. You know, there's 70-something thousand people here being spectators. The football team needs to be getting ready for the next play.
Half of them are about to be very happy, and the other half are about to be very angry.
Look at Hubbard way back at the 50-yard line, making it tough on Murray to fit the ball in there.
Again, you have to go back to the rule. The rule is it has to be conclusive evidence to overturn a call, and the call on the field is interception.
And that ball's, as he goes to the ground there, is banging off the ground between his arms, it looks like to me.
Right there, it looks like he's
All right,
got it cradled. He's got it cradled, but look, the nose of the football hit the ground. That's a good look at it right there. The nose of the football hits the ground in between his elbows. Watch.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if they overturn this thing. It's awful close. I think he trapped it. If that's the case, Georgia's going to have another opportunity with 43 seconds to play. Georgia over on their sideline, as you said, Tyler, they're over there Xing and Owen as if they're going to get the ball back.
They need to be.
You got to take advantage of your opportunity here, as slim as it may be.
Just wonder what takes so long to make the call.
Right. Well, I think
because the SEC championship's riding on the call.
Well, I mean, we've
I think
all
this
seen
is good
it.
for Georgia. I think what now they're doing is trying to figure out where the line of scrimmage was.
Ground is an incomplete pass.
There you go. I told you, half of the stadium really loves that call.
In the first couple minutes, you can say, all right, it's incomplete. Now, where was the line of scrimmage? Where was that ball snapped from? We got to get it back and get play ready to go.
Georgia gets another chance.
Well, it'll be a second down and 10.
They're still 72 yards away, and now there's only 45 seconds left in the game.
The middle has not been kind to Aaron Murray.
No, it sure hasn't. Well, Alabama's playing the edges here. They want to keep that ball, that receiver in the field to play.
Second down and 10. Murray throws it to Lynch, and Lynch is able to get out of bounds just barely. Stops the clock with 38 seconds, and now Georgia 57 yards away.
But why are you even trying to get the yardage? It's not as important as the clock. You turn it upfield, fine, but make sure you get out of bounds.
I'm not sure why you don't have Jay Rome in the game, a pass receiving tight end.
First and 10, ball is at the 43. Murray, protection to King, who's got it at the 35. That'll stop the clock for them to move the sticks.
At a minimum, you have an opportunity to throw into the end zone now.
Well, TK is out of breath there. They've knocked the breath out of him. And he's going to have to come off the field. He's a tough guy. He's going to make it out by himself. That's a tight window. He sticks it in there, and King knows he's going to get hit there. Just a nice execution on that play.
22 yards on the play. And the clock is moving again.
Got to get it snapped.
22 seconds. Time running out on Georgia. Murray steps up, fires. Lynch has it at the 15. Lynch has it inside the 10. Clock stopped to move the sticks. 15 seconds.
Unbelievable how the middle of the field is that wide open.
You got to stick it in the ground here, right?
Otherwise, no, that clock's running.
Yeah, you got to get it off here.
11 seconds, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Murray going for the fade route. No, throws it underneath. He falls down. Georgia's going to run out of time. There goes the clock, and Alabama survives.
What a shame.
What a game.
What a game. You're right.
Alabama, their 23rd SEC championship as they hold off the Georgia Bulldogs in the final seconds, winning it 30-28, and Alabama will get a BCS national championship matchup against Notre Dame. The field here at the Georgia Dome littered with confetti, littered with the broken dreams of the Georgia Bulldogs as Alabama wins the SEC championship in heart-stopping fashion, 32-28.
Well, a little hard to believe how the game ended there. I'm surprised Aaron didn't get up, slam the ball on the ground there, stop the clock, and maybe you got 2 plays. You can get into the end zone there. But let me just say, what an outstanding ball game. Both sides here. Both teams left everything on the field here in this game. What a magnificent showdown in the SEC title game.
Yeah, it was amazing how both sides were able to overcome adversity. When all the momentum seemed to be on the opposing sideline, they were able to snatch it right back. It's a shame the game ended on this play right here, but how about the heart of Georgia being able to get back down the field and give themselves an opportunity, and Alabama holding on for just enough, overcoming the turnovers, the missed opportunity of special teams, and finding a way to win.
Alabama gets the trophy again. Once again, will represent the SEC in the BCS National Championship game. And here was the play that won it for the Crimson Tide, the big 45-yard touchdown pass to Amari Cooper.
Well, they've been gashing Georgia with the run game, so they're obsessed with stopping the run. You can see how the cornerback maybe relaxed for just a second, but that's the go-to guy there. McCarron with a beautiful throw to Cooper.
Yeah, doing an outstanding job. The one-on-one coverage. A.J. McCarron doing a good job with his eyes, holding the safety in the middle of the field.
Alabama wins it 32-28. And now for Tyler Watts, Buck Belue, and the entire CSS team, I'm Matt Stewart. So long from the Georgia Dome, and congratulations to the SEC champion, Alabama Crimson Tide.